Okay, well, I just heard an interesting fact about Lyndon Johnson, and I'm drinking, so let's talk. Uh, Lyndon Johnson used to shit with the door open and talk to reporters. You know, I. That's like some straight up, like, Texas, Oklahoma hillbilly shit right there. Like, that's something my grandfather would. And, I always hated Johnson because he's kind of a piece of shit and a racist and a lot of other things, but God, that kind of makes me like him a little bit. The room that you are sitting in now is my bedroom, and it has an attached bathroom suite. For some god-awful reason, contractors decided to move the door, and when they moved the door, they moved it to in front of the toilet. The toilet and the bed are not very far apart, and that's weird. But at the same time, it forced my girlfriend Dakota and I to basically be Lyndon Johnson. And after having done that with someone who literally, we had licked each other's assholes and dicks and shit, I think that would be awkward with reporters. It was awkward with her at moments. Actually, that's kind of a lie. It was never really awkward with her. That's like the weird part about being lesbians. We were really tight. Like, I don't know. I introduced her to the joys of anal sex. She was a trans woman that had never done that before. That's an interesting... I don't know. That, for you asking, I don't know what her plan was. Again, she was kind of a lesbian, like, she's a total lesbian. But, when she ran into me, it was like a Clash of, like, Tornadoes meeting because of that. Because basically she was kind of a trans girl that just liked to do things with her dick, which is odd for a trans girl. And it was one of those that we had that going for us, and she loved Star Wars. And she loved politics and Hunter Thompson, and she happened to be a communist. And, like, this is where, like, to be honest, the thing a lot of people don't get about me is that I would be a communist, except for the fact that I'm unusually well informed. I'm basically like the communist that went and lived in communism for 10 years and then came back. I don't know what that makes me. Not capitalist. Not communist. I'm I'm dejected and fucking want to hurt people. So, that's half of how she and I could hang out. Like, that's why I like Hunter Thompson and shit too, and a lot of the same shit she's into. I'm just further down the path than most of these people, and I've come back to mostly conservative views with major changes. And I think this is the thing that's going to change things in America, is that currently a lot of these woke fuckers are going to be conservative as fuck and gay, trans, whatever. That's coming. Currently, Blair White, myself, and Caitlyn Jenner are the only conservative trans women on the internet that I'm aware of. I throw myself into that mix because I do this radio show for you. And there's 2,000 people that watch this, so that makes me legitimately the third most famous of them. Can't believe fucking Lyndon Johnson shits with the door open. To reporters. That's a level of I don't give a fuck that, to be honest, a lot of people would say that, me and my girlfriend having that kind of relationship is a level of I don't give a fuck that a lot of people could fucking aspire to. I want to talk to Dakota now about this. I don't, like, one of the times I proposed to that woman, she was sitting on the toilet in this room. To be fair, we had just both done 2 tabs of acid and, like, come back down and slept it off for a couple of days. And we're kind of just hitting that, like, post-trip sober glow kind of thing. And I was in love with her. I spent the last 12 hours of the trip in here alone while she slept in the other room, just thinking about how much I loved her and doing art. And the art that I was doing was like just pimping out her fucking nicotine vape. So, as far as boundaries go, that's why I'd like to have that conversation with her, because, like, she and I have some pretty loose boundaries about that. I would never fucking talk to reporters from a toilet. Not a million years. This isn't like a fetish thing or whatever. It didn't, like, get my jollies off to see her on the toilet. It just happened to be a thing that she was over there on the toilet. And, you know, at the point that I proposed to her, like I said, she had kind of slept it off in the chair in the other room, and I slept it off in here in the bed, and she came walking through and bumped my feet on the way to the toilet. And I kind of sat up and put my glasses on and saw her pull her panties down and sit on the toilet, and saw her cute little face, and kind of couldn't help but ask her to marry me. That's how I still feel about her. I think I'll feel that way about that woman till I die. And, you know, I had asked her other times and other ways and whatever. You can't make someone love you back. And even if they do love you back, sometimes they aren't looking for what you're looking for. That's just like the sad truth of it. I'm going to add in here during this, like, drunk talking about Lyndon Johnson and Dakota. Margarita mix, like the shit that you get at the fucking liquor store that's in a bucket or whatever. Swear to God, the main ingredient in that shit's Tang. Shit you not. Tang makes a badass margarita. I ran out of mix. And I got to playing with other stuff. And if you take Tang and mix, you know, the Tang as directed, and then whenever you go to make your margarita, you use it in place of orange juice and add in whatever other ingredients you can add. Like I had lime, and that's helping this thing out a little bit. But hell, I tried it without the lime. It doesn't need it, really. It makes a pretty decent margarita all on its own. And, like, with lime, it's way better. Because, like, to me, the main flavor of a margarita is lime. Right? So. However, it's one of those, like, if you didn't have enough limes, adding more orange wouldn't hurt. That's a good way to compensate, and you kind of end up with a very similar-ish drink. That's what I'm rocking right now. Very orange-heavy margarita. We won't talk about the alcohol it's made out of. Less said about that, the better. It's not tequila. I couldn't afford the good tequila that I wanted. And at the point that I couldn't have the good with stuff, I was like, fuck it, let's just get vodka. But I don't like just drinking vodka. And I don't really like making mixed drinks out of vodka. I like margaritas. So now we're on the quest to make this like ghetto Rita. That's what I'm gonna call this. I think I might switch up to well tequila because like that is something that we could get well tequila basically at the same price as the shitty vodka. That would help these. It would help them considerably. But you would be amazed at how good fucking Tang, fucking Heaven Hill vodka, and honestly quite a bit of lime and some salt and ice is. That's the key really, is that we have that lime, salt, ice, and the, what's it called? The Tang gives it a citrusy sour kind of flavor. It's very good. It's not quite a margarita, but it is ghetto acceptable substitute. Half of it is getting the salt ice mixture thing going on top. I like to salt the ice on a margarita. Maybe I'm alone in that. A lot of people have the salt on the rim. This is good. You should definitely do that. However, the ghetto way to do it is to take kosher salt, get like a block of ice, or like my ice maker makes ice in little like trays, right? I take a string of 3 of those and place it on the top of the ice. And like I use it to kind of float the salt on. And it makes this like puddle of salt water that sits on top of the margarita that you have to drink through. It's very nice. Anyway, I don't know that Heaven Hill vodka margaritas are recommended, but you know, this is a hell of a lot cheaper than the grid shows drinking. I'm gonna have to come up with the perfect ghetto Rita recipe. I'll come up with a brand of tequila. Either that, or maybe just tell you to get the cheapest shit money can buy. Because that's what I'm gonna do. Go get the cheapest fucking tequila money can buy. And a big bottle of real lime. The Tang. I don't know what you would add next other than that. Like, I have to do some thinking. Because, like, most of the margaritas I've ever made used mix. When they didn't, it was like Amaretto or Grand Marnier or Cointreau or something like that. And that's like an orange liqueur. We got Tang in there, so kind of don't need that. We got whatever alcohol we're using, so we don't need more alcohol probably. Although it would dope up a fucking ghetto margarita to put fucking Grand Marnier in it. So if you got that, I'd use it. I can't think of another ghetto ingredient right now. I really think that margarita mix shit is, they alter the Tang formula to be lime flavor instead of orange flavor. It's lime flavored Tang. It's what you're drinking. That's my conclusion based on how well Tang mixes with vodka. Oh, it does very well, to be honest. So the ghetto Rita. Well, I've run out of shit to talk about, and this has been 15 minutes of this already, so I hope someone has enjoyed learning about Lyndon Johnson shitting on the toilet. Although we could talk about, the fact that Richard Nixon showed Jackie Gleason a UFO. That's what I was learning about when I found that out. But you can go Google that on your own. I'll see you guys later.